This video is going to be short and sweet, but also very long. And as a public service announcement or a personal milestone, my wife and I are going to the bank today to secure a loan so that we can build a new house, a new studio. And it's very exciting. When I have more details about the move and what the new studio looks like, I'll let everyone know. And before we do that, there'll also be a new studio tour at where we are now to basically show you what I think is going to become the final iteration of this studio. Moving on. Hello, YouTubers. This is noobifier on the 7th of June, 2024. There was an hour-long starcitizen live game dev making ship up. Here's what you need to know. Today we had Alberto and Dan. Game dev is more of a casual format where we watch people do work. Sometimes it's quite difficult to reformat that into this format, so in advance, I thank you for tuning in and supporting. Today we would watch the birth of a concept example. Jared said that if we actually want this example to become a real concept, we should message John Crew a lot, like spam his inbox. A motorcycle with a sidecar theme. Because it's actually impossible to perform this in 1 hour, they would be doing kit bashing. They would use parts from existing assets to create this new concept. We began in Blender, which is a very popular 3D toolset, with several pieces of the Pulse concept candidates. There were 3 or 4 concepts apparently, and one was chosen, so we were using the parts from the other ones that weren't used. They began with the saddle, and Jared noted that all of the entry and exit animations were pre-baked in, but Dan said normally this takes a lot of time to make by hand, or perhaps they would employ the mocap system, which is the same amount of time, but you get better results. Alberto exploded the donor concept into its components to facilitate the kit bash. Jared asked if Alberto uses multiple versions of Blender because he could see them open on the toolbar, and he replied yes, and he said that this is done because several versions of Blender use different mods and tools that are not available across the board. Dan mentioned that he does not use Blender, and then the discussion continued to explain that CIG does not specify or work on only one render software. It's better to let the person use the software that they're most effective with and then use tools to convert the work so that others can use it in the future. Photoshop is more common across the team, and this is used for the final concept art and also for the texture or ship skin. And as the show went on, lots was discussed, mostly with a theme of 2 people talking rather than actual info. It was interesting, and I'm going to run out the remainder of the entire video showing the process at something like 2,000 times speed for you. That's it. Thank you very much for spending your time with me. Fly safe, and I'll see you in the verse.